Open your ears and lube up your butthole. It's time for the What Do We Call It podcast. Now, here's your host. It's Jmann. Welcome to the What Do We Call It podcast. I'm Jmann. And it's just me. And I figured I'd rant a bit.
Oh my God, no way.
Show your faces. That's something I have been asked or had said to me in comments on multiple videos for the show. Primarily on the Fuck the Iron Order video. I don't know why that one, but it seems to, when you crap on somebody's biker club ideals, really rub them the wrong way. And it seems that a lot of people on that video have decided to use the comment section to talk some shit. Specifically this one dill-donk Eric Fucky Magoo, I don't remember his goddamn story. Anyway, he tried to say I'm not a real podcast because of my number of subscribers and talk a bunch of shit, to which I went to his YouTube channel and there was some local news story about him mowing the lawns of veterans and then him having an advertisement for him being a screen and electronic device repair aficionado. Both since taken down since I blasted him in the ass in the comment section of the Fuck the Iron Order video. Go to episode 18 if you want to see it. So people also, in addition to this one, various message boards. They say the same shit. Show your face. Oh, you wouldn't talk like that if you were in public. Yes, I would. Yes, I do. I'm not one of these keyboard warriors that puts up a fake front to act like I'm tough.
Oh, you can.
But there are reasons why I don't have video for the show, why I don't put my face out there. One, I'm not tech savvy enough. I would hate to have to take the time to sync up video and audio. I watched Graham try with It Radio back in the day. Fucking frustrating. No thank you. Second reason, I keep my online life and my real life separate. I mean, I know I talk about my real life on the show, but I would like to maintain my anonymity so I could be myself without having to constantly present myself as the person behind the names Jmann 1982 or the Reverend Johnny Blumpkin. And that's just smart. I mean, what I do online is online, and what I do in real life is real life. I don't need to attach my fucking face to it, because why? And this is reason number 3. People just want to talk shit. They say that like, oh, put your face up there, show us what you look like. And I get the feeling that they're just looking for reasons to make fun of me. Like they hear us say controversial shit in that episode, Danny and I, or other controversial shit I've said on message boards recently where I got into a pissing match with some guy on a WrestleZone story about wrestler Shelton Benjamin finding a loaded handgun in the glove box of his rental car, and somehow it ballooned into some Philando Castile shit, and I had to drop some knowledge on these crybaby bitches that were all, oh, what about that fucking Dylan, what's his nuts, who shot up the black church? The cops treated him like a criminal, but also took him to Burger King, and he was white. And what about Philando Castile, who was black, and he was murdered in front of his wife and child? And I had to drop some knowledge bombs on some people. I'm not going to get into it. But if I put my picture up, what good is it going to do? You don't know who I am. It's not going to give me any extra insight into why I think the way I think. And you're just, going to sit there and use it as a means of trying to get at me by talking shit about my appearance? And I don't feel like I have anything to be ashamed of with my appearance. I ain't ugly, and I ain't fat, and I'm not pimply. So if they think I'm just some troll in my mom's basement, sorry to burst your bubble there, fuckface, but I'm not. And I can handle all the smack talk. In fact, I love to get into spats online with illiterate big mouths. And I do it all the time whenever I can. And I purposely don't revert to name calling or picking on their appearance.
What?
I'm fine engaging people like that. I like the conflict. It's good practice. How do you get better at talking shit and holding your own in an argument? You practice arguing by getting in arguments with people. It's the art of debate. And I'll also, I'm guilty of picking on people's appearances online, but I do it by what I see. I don't use it as a means of trying to defeat their argument by simply saying, well, you're fucking stupid because you're a conservative, gay-hating, faggot fuck closet case, and look at how close together your eyes are, you butt fucker. Or all these pussy-ass liberals that are hiding behind their masks at their Antifa rallies and shit like that. I don't need to pick on you. I didn't need to pick on the Antifa girl, but just the fact that she was a bleach blonde Richie girl that decided to get some crusty fucking dreadlocks and grow out her pit and pussy hair and then show off her shit on the internet and act like she's waving the virtue flag while getting punched in the face by a neo-Nazi, which she totally had coming. Ow! Yes, I just picked apart her appearance. But if I'm going to actually argue against her, I'm going to say, look, whatever your fucking name is, because she uses several different various online monikers, you gave an interview after you got punched in the face at the Berkeley riots. And then you fabricated dozens of details that were clearly not true by the video, that I got punched repeatedly and there were like 12 people coming at me and I was fighting for my life and someone had a knife and this and that and the other. And see, I don't have to pick apart your appearance. You're already sticking your foot in your mouth and proving yourself to be a fucking dimwit. Hadouken! And plus, simply ripping a person's appearance apart to win an argument, that's something people lacking in intelligence do. If you're going to debate. Use facts. And if you're going to use opinions that are based in facts and also a combination of life experience. Don't just shoot from the hip with what you feel. Say shit that means something. And back it up with the kind of details that somebody that's frothing at the mouth with their internet dipshit rage can't fucking do anything about or have an answer to because it's so just straight to the point. Now, for instance, the Philando Castile thing the other day. In my comments to these other people, Philando Castile, he was murdered. It was senseless. I'm against Officer Yanez. I'm glad he lost his fucking job. However, there's blame to be shared on both sides. I said the cop was to blame for how he handled it. Castile was to blame for how he mentioned he had a gun, and the means of how he brought it up could not have been any more wrong. He should have said, I just want to tell you something. I want to get out of the car. I'm going to let you pat search me because I do have a firearm. And he should have placed his fucking hands out the window. I've said this shit how many times? Anyway, somebody called me despicable for that, and somebody called me a scumbag for insinuating that the whole reason why he got pulled over was because he matched a description of somebody from an armed robbery. And apparently, some genius goes, yeah, because he committed a robbery with his wife and his daughter in the car. And I just had to scoff at that because it's like, hey, dum-dum. First off, wasn't his wife and his kid. It was his girlfriend and her kid. They said he was unarmed. He was not unarmed. None of this shit's here or there, but I'm just telling you the mindset of what goes into these fucking arguments online. So the person ended their little rant about what a morally superior scumfuck I am with, I bet you wouldn't talk this way if you weren't hiding behind your keyboard. If you said this in real life, you'd get your tail whipped thoroughly. Get the fuck out. And that's when I dropped all these facts on him about the case, about how the armed robbery was on July 2nd, and the fucking stop on the day when he got shot was July 6th, and that the reason that he got pulled over was because he looked like the guy from the video. I also mentioned that he had a lengthy rap sheet with 32 police contacts for various driving offenses and a few for weed. I mentioned how he and his girlfriend Diamond Reynolds had videos out there where they were smoking weed and drinking in the car with her 4-year-old in the back seat right there. I did it as a means of saying, he's not this saint that you're painting him out to be. So before you canonize him, keep in mind that this cop had good reason for stopping him. He didn't deserve to die, but nobody heard me say that because apparently on the internet, if somebody feels one way about something, they think you're a total fucking piece of shit unless you yourself are totally outraged or feigning outrage, and I'm not going to do that. Now, had any of these people had pictures, I might have laughed at their appearance, but I wouldn't have used it as the sole means of defending myself in the debate with them online, because picking apart people's appearances when you're trying to have an actual debate, it's low-hanging fruit. If you don't know what that means, think of an apple tree. There's apples all throughout the tree. And the easiest apples are the ones that are closest to the ground. Low-hanging fruit. That's what picking on somebody's appearance is. You're not putting a lot of thought into it. It's right there and it's pretty obvious. And pretty much any mouth-breathing idiot can come up with a few insults to somebody's appearance, and even if they don't even mean shit, if they're absolutely ridiculous observations, they're still there.
Yay!
But back to this point of why I don't show my face online, why would I invite that kind of negativity into my life?
I don't know!
Really. I'm fine with people hating me for the things that I say and the views that I have, but don't fucking hate on me and dismiss my point of view and my experiences because you don't like the way I look. Because if somebody sees your picture and they're black and they don't like white people, immediately they've dismissed anything I'm going to say because they're anti-white. If somebody's white and they hate everybody, especially whites, and they're carrying that anti-white cross where they think that anybody that doesn't kiss black people's asses is a racist, which is not true. Anytime you bring up crime statistics about black people, you instantly get lambasted online by a bunch of PC tree huggers and bleeding hearts that say, whoa, that's racist of you to bring it up. No, it's not. It's fucking statistical information available on government websites. They track this shit so that people like me that are interested in the facts can actually look at them.
Oh my God, no way!
So to put my picture out there invites the opportunity for somebody to talk shit about my appearance. And once again, I can handle it, but why do I need that? Why would I want that? There's enough negativity on the internet without me making myself an easy target or more readily available for people to lampoon me and run their mouths. Because honestly, if you're going to talk a bunch of shit and you don't deserve to, I'm going to secretly wish and pray and hope that you get run over by a car on the way to the clinic to get the doctor's results from your AIDS test the other day after you fell down the stairs and tripped over a bunch of fucking kids' toys and skateboards from all your illegitimate bastard children and then fell onto a pile of needles. We don't need people like you. And here's another thought. If I put my face out there and somebody knows who I am and they use it as a means to dox me, if you don't know what doxing is, it's where somebody puts your personal information online for people to track you and basically stalk you with carte blanche to Google your name and your address and all that shit. And who knows what they're going to do with it, because with my luck, I'd get some fucking, Tommy Too Tough there who comes to my house who wants to vent his beef or comes to my job or tries to find me or something. And I don't need that. I don't need some head case coming around harassing me and my family. Because if you fuck with my kids, they will never find your body. Because I will not leave enough of you left to scrape up into a shoebox to bury. That is a goddamn promise. So because the internet is literally the greatest thing ever and equally the worst thing ever, I personally hope the internet just fucking goes away. I would love for China to hack the goddamn electrical grid and make it so nobody has the internet. Not EMP bomb us back into the Stone Age, but give us a break and let us see what things were like 10, 20, 30 years ago before we had to rely on all these goddamn stupid devices. It's an amazing world out there when you take your head out of your fucking phone. And as for anybody that would take my picture or look at me and just run their mouth as a means of getting back at me for having a view that's different than theirs, why don't you try relying on a witty retort instead of BS threats on the internet? All these tough guys are like, oh, you're a pussy. Why don't you show your fucking face? Well, nice fucking reverse psychology there, genius, but I think I've got you figured out. You're going to say that I'm a pussy if I don't show my face, thinking that I'll show my face so you can get what you want. Like, you're really going to outsmart me? That's the equivalent to like a fox with Down syndrome trying to be like, oh, you chicken should come out of the coop because there's no foxes here. As he's, got like 4 or 5 random chicken feathers like stuck to his body. Clearly it just looks like a mentally retarded fox with a few feathers on him. That's what it's like. And honestly, what are you going to do if you find me? What are you going to do if you find out where to get a hold of me? Are you going to fucking fly to Minneapolis and then track me down at my home? Are you that strong in your convictions that you're willing to come hunt me down, stalk me, and commit an assault or a murder just so you can be right on the internet? People don't realize how fucking facetious all of this internet arguing is. So people need to back off the whole, oh, you're a pussy, you just talk shit online. Everybody talks shit online. That's what the internet's for. That's what it's given us, a voice. And everybody's taken the opportunity to use that voice to bitch about stuff and to let their views be known, to get into arguments with perfect fucking strangers. Or to end friendships or have awkward family relationships talking about politics on Facebook. You know, that's what the internet has done. It has connected us all in a way that we never used to have available to us. And it's just made us all into fucking monsters. Oh my God. So no, I won't be putting my picture up because it doesn't really serve any purpose whatsoever than to make me cannon fodder for a bunch of fucking rejects that are pissed off about basically only Danny talking shit about their biker club. I honestly could give a fuck less. So in closing, keep your fucking picture off the internet. If you're going to do a podcast, have a logo, but you don't need to show your face all over there because there are trolls out there on the internet lurking in the dark reaches of the interwebs, hoping to come out and run their mouths about your looks for the sake of increasing their own self-esteem when most of them, most of the time, are ugly pieces of shit. Unless you look like fucking Ryan Gosling or Channing Tatum or The Rock or, Taye Diggs, you ain't got shit on anybody. Unless your girlfriend's a fucking supermodel, which she probably isn't, shut the fuck up. Nobody needs you to run your mouth about how they look, their wife looks, their girlfriend looks, or their kids look. Because that's the kind of shit when you make it personal, when it stops being words, and it starts escalating into violence. Think about that. Because violence begets violence. And an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. Interact with the show on Twitter at What Do We Call It. That is at What Do We Call It. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/What Do We Call It podcast show. For the What Do We Call It podcast, I'm Jmann. And that's the end.
You can't see